Yo, what's up everybody? So in this video, I'm gonna talk about Pokemon Go IVs and stats. A lot of you guys have questions about what makes the Pokemon good and bad in Pokemon Go, what we need to focus on, and the difference about IV for PvP and for raid battles and gym battles, because you do need to strategize differently for IVs in that sense, as well as some misconceptions people have about IVs in Pokemon Go. So stay tuned, this video is gonna help you guys out and everything you need to know, and let's get started. Alright, now let's talk about the two stats for Pokemon Go. Every Pokemon has two types of stats, a base stat and IV. We'll touch up on base stat first. So a base stat is every single Pokemon's individual attributes for attack, stamina, and defense, which will affect the overall maximum CP. A good example of this is a Dragonite with 263 attack, 198 defense, and stamina of 209, maxing out at 3792. In comparison to Rayquaza, has an attack of 284, defense of 170, and stamina of 213, and its max CP is 3835. So which one's gonna do more damage? Of course, the Rayquaza. Now, what affects this the most is IV for Pokemon. IV is Pokemon's potential, I'll say this again, it's Pokemon's potential to reach its maximum CP. That means that if you catch a Rayquaza or you evolve a Dragonite, it doesn't mean that you'll hit 3792 or 3835. It depends on the IV, which is separated into three categories of attack, defense, and stamina. Attack affects the CP the most each time you power it up, and stamina affects the HP each time you power it up. The defense is kind of like in the middle, so it power up both a little bit here and there, depending on the level when you increase it. So each attribute, attack, defense, and stamina, ranges from 0 to 15. 0 being the worst, 15 being the highest. So if you catch a Pokemon with 15 attack, 15 defense, and 15 stamina, it means you have 100%. You can see this in the appraisal section. When you click on appraisal, attack, defense, and stamina are separated into three bars itself. So the first bar is 0 to 5, the middle bar is 6 to 10, and the last bar on the end is 11 to 15. So to break down the appraisal rate for Pokemon Go, if you have a 1-star, it means that it's going to be 51% to 63%. If you have 2-star, it'd be 66% to 80%. If you have 3 stars, 83% or 82% to 98%. And 4 stars means that it's 100%. So just to break that down simply for you guys so you guys know what's up. So these are the stats for raid battles and gym battles and catching them. Will 100% really make a difference versus like say an 89%? It won't make too much of a difference, so don't stress too much if you don't have 100%. But the good news is that with Pokemon Go, they're giving you guys so many opportunities for getting 100%. From opening the weekly box, like you can get 100%. I got 100% Zapdos and Articuno from that. You can also get 100% through raid battles. It's much easier than finding them in a while. You can also find 100% through shadow Pokemon too. You can purify them. I got 100% Dratini and 100% Larvitar through purifying shadow Pokemon. So if you catch like a lot of ultra rare Pokemon like Larvitar, Dratinis, you can just trade them to your friends over and over. And if you have lucky friends, you can also have a high opportunity to get 100%. So don't stress too much if you don't have 100%, but save it does until you do, because you know what, sometimes you might need that 100% because sometimes you're like down to the last 2-3 seconds of taking down a raid boss, and if everyone had 100% IV, it would make a difference. So, and we all been there before. IVs cannot be changed if you evolve it, but the only two ways you can affect your IV is one through trading, which would be randomized, but if you get a lucky Pokemon or you have a lucky best friend, the base minimum of IV will be 80%. So after that, it's just kind of random sporadic. But the other way you can change IV is by catching a weather boosted Pokemon. So every time you catch a Pokemon in the wild, if it's not weather boosted, the IV for each attack, defense, and stamina will range from 0 to 15. But if you do catch a weather boosted Pokemon, the IV will range from 4 to 15 instead of 0 to 15. So you have a higher opportunity of getting a high IV Pokemon. Alright, and just a little FYI for you guys, IVs are randomized if you're level 1 to 29. If you're level 30 and to level 40, all the IVs you see together will be the same. So if you see 100% Larvitar and you're level 40, someone who is playing with you and they're level 29 or 28 won't see the same IV, and vice versa. If someone level 12 sees 100% Dragonite, you will not see that if you're 30 and above, because the IV will be random. Alrighty, into the home stretch now. So PvP is a little technical, where I'll give you guys a simple analogy to give you guys a broad image of it, and then I'll break it down with some examples. So imagine you're at a bar and ordering like a whiskey and soda water with some ice. So the whiskey is your HP, the ice is defense, and the soda water is attack. The top of the glass would be 1500 CP, and every time you order a drink, you want as much alcohol as possible to get you drunk, right? But if the bartender puts too much soda water, then you're not gonna get drunk. Too much ice, then you're not gonna have enough room for whiskey or soda water, and you could be kind of annoyed. So you kind of see where I'm coming from here, right? There's a lot of plot hole in this analogy. I'm sorry, but it's just a simple analogy, right? With that being said, let's move on to some examples. It'll help clear things up. This analogy was like the best thing I can come up with, right? So whatever. All right, so now let's start off this example with the Venusaur. Venusaur goes well beyond 1500, so it's easy to compare. Now 100% Venusaur, right? It's 1476 with an HP of 119. That means that attack, defense, and stamina is 15, 15, 15, 100%, right? So now let's try to get this as close as possible to 1500, which is the goal, while increasing the HP as much as possible. So we're always going to leave HP at 15, because if you decrease HP just by a little bit, just go down one level, then the HP will go down, which is not what you want. More HP means your Pokemon's ability to survive the attack. So keep HP always at 15, right? Let's try powers up at 19.5. It went over, right? So now let's try to take down attack. Now it's really low. 1408 means that we have more room to power it up. So let's go 1, 2, 3. There we go. Level 21, we're at 1517. So now let's move down to defense, because we don't want to move down the HP again, because if you do it, the HP will decrease. So let's move defense down to 0. 1460. So let's keep on powering this up to have a higher increase, which will equal higher HP. All right, powered up at 21.5. Is at 1495 now. HP is at 126. That's a great thing. Means that that's the maximum HP that it can get at this level. Now let's try to get closer to the 1500 CP cap. Move. There we go. Defense is at 1 now, and stamina is at 15 still. So we get up to 1499. Let's try to play with it with the attack. So with the attack, we cannot do that because it goes to 1502. So it seems like the closest CP that we can get up to for Venusaur is 1499 with 126 HP. Just to let you guys know, a misconception that people have about IV is that if you decrease the defense, the Pokemon is not going to be able to defend itself. If you have the maximum of attack, your Pokemon will be able to hit harder. And if you have like the most heart, you'll be able to live longer, which that part is true. But think about it as that defense and attack is both combined in the combat power. And the base stat, like we said earlier in the video, is already set. It was not going to change. But the potential to meet up to the highest CP possible is what the goal is for PvP. Alright, so now let's try one more example. Lucario, because it is a fan favorite for PvP, it maxes out at 2703. Now let's try to decrease this down to as close as possible to the 1500 CP cap. Alrighty, so there we go. 1506 is a CP cap for 100% at 1506 CP and 110 HP. So now let's just jump down to 0 attack and 0 defense. It makes it easier. So now let's power it up a few more times. Right now, currently is at 1905. Currently is at level 19.5. Okay, powered up 1, 2, 3, 4. See if we could power it up a few more times. There we go. Alrighty, so okay, so now at 0 attack, 0 defense, and 0 HP is at 1495. Let's try to get closer to the CP cap. Okay, there we go. And okay, so 1496. Let's try to increase it there and decrease the defense. Okay, let's see. 1496, and see, let's try to do it there. Oh, there we go. So we can play with it a little bit. Oh, look at that. Okay, let's try that. Oh, look at that. That's something new right there. I just played with it a little bit more, and okay, moving down the heart, just 1 point. So it gives you a little bit of wiggle room right there. Let's see, let's try to move down one more time. Nope. So if I move down the heart one more time, it'll be 114. Cool. That's the first time I've seen that right there. So there we go, you guys. This should clarify a lot of things up for PvP. Honestly, just use a third-party app like Calci IV. It really just helps simplify the whole PvP system to play around with it. Alright, so now the big question is, what do you do with all your Pokemons? Which one do you keep? Which moveset is good? I'll make another video on movesets later on for this video. But as far as like which Pokemon to keep, it really all depends on the individual. If you're going to use these type of Pokemons like Dragonites, Mewtwo's, if you're going to use them in raid battles and they're useful, then yeah, keep them. If you have proper IVs, like I said earlier, that is good for PvP, then yeah, keep them around. Maybe they might be useful. I suggest you guys play around with the Calci IV or a third-party app to see which Pokemon has a potential IV that you need for PvP, because that right there is a little more technical. As for raid battles and gym battles, I suggest just have about a 90% to 100% IV to keep. It depends if you have like a 91% lucky Mewtwo with Shadow Ball, then definitely max it out because it has less starters to power up, and it's still a Mewtwo with a massive base stat. Same goes with Rayquaza. If you have a 90%, yeah. If it's lucky, power it up. If you have like the means to do it, you have enough candy and starters. But if you have like, say, no starters, no candy, and you have a 85% Groudon, I would say save your starters because in Pokemon Go, Niantic gives you a lot of opportunities to find 100% IVs. Really, it's pretty easy to get. So just keep on raiding, keep on playing, and you'll find it. Keep on trading. And eventually you'll find your 100% IVs. I know I have many times. I got the Tyranitar from a raid. So it's pretty cool just to get 100% from a raid. The best advice I can give you for which Pokemon to keep, if you have the means, like the starters and the candy to power up all your 90% and above, do it if it's useful. But if you don't, then you gotta be a little more frugal about which one to power up. Alright guys, that's the end of my video. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. So I believe I explained to my best ability about IVs, and I hope this answers a lot of questions for you guys. I know I must have missed a few things about PvP and IVs. Leave your comments down below. If you're new to my channel, I do all things related to Pokemon Go news, tips, tricks, and I also vlog with my daily life. If you're interested in those type of videos and this video helps you out, hit that like button and maybe subscribe if you like this video. I'm Tong, aka The Last Hot Sauce, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Basically, so if it goes after like and Calci IV. CP mean that it's going to be 100%. I think it's so annoying when people ride on their bikes and have music playing from the backpack. You know, get some headphones. It's 2020. They have like Bluetooth headphones. Come on now.